Another week, another great show coming your way. Hey, that also means another week closer to kicking off the 2025 Liberty Flames football season. Hey there, and welcome into our Flames Central studios. I'm Emily, and thankfully, Rhett McGibbon is here to fill in for Matt.
Yeah, thrilled to be here. Don't worry, we'll check in with Matt in just a bit. He's up in Green Bay, catching up with former Flame Malik Willis. But for now, we'll stay focused on the Flames.
That's right. There's plenty to update on this team. Last week, we took a deeper dive into the Flames' defense. So this week, our fall camp report is all about the offense. We're about halfway through the grind of fall camp, and we're still patiently waiting for a starting quarterback to be named. That battle is still ongoing, but head coach Jamie Chadwell has seen leaders emerge.
Vasco and Berger will be getting a majority of the reps, with Merdinger getting a decent amount as well. That we've narrowed down to those three. You know, Vasco and Berger do have that experience in being in systems and playing some, and so there is something to that. I think they've been the most consistent. Whoever wins the job, I'm 100% confident the team will be behind. They're great leaders. They care about their teammates. And so they've been great in the locker room. So I don't worry about that, but I think that's important too. Those guys are behind those guys. And so it's been a good battle up to this point. It'll continue to be a good battle. There's some areas of improvement, but they're competing hard right now.
As for the running backs room, Liberty lost two of its top rushers from a season ago, and now turned to four Flames to carry the load. Caden Williams, Juju Gray, Vaughn Blue, and Evan Dickens.
You watch these guys compete, and you don't know, like today, I still couldn't tell you who's going to be the two guys that's going to roll out there. It's more just trying to get those guys experience. It's a talented room, but very young room. So just trying to get them as much experience as we can get. You just got to wait and let them grow and develop. So you just keep throwing them in the fire with all these team situations, and you kind of see the talent and stuff come out of.
Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Without Quentin Cooley in the backfield, who rushed for more than 1,000 yards last year, many question if there's another back on this roster who can put up those similar numbers.
As good as Quentin Cooley was, I feel like we have a very good opportunity of showing y'all that we got somebody else that can be the next name of the running back room.
It's going to be one. I don't know which one it's going to be, but if I was a betting man, I would say it's going to definitely be 1,000-yard rusher this year. Absolutely.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch how everything plays out with this team. Ready or not, Game 1 against Maine kicks off in just over 2 weeks. But listen up, Flames Nation. You can join in on some football fun before then. Fan Appreciation Day is this Saturday, August 16th. Gates open at 11 a.m. The Flames will hold a scrimmage at noon and then stick around after for an autograph session in the indoor practice facility. It's a great family event, and the best part, it's free. We'll see you Saturday.
Should be a great time. Well, another threat on the Flames offense this season should be wide receiver Jamari Pson. Sit down with him for 5 minutes, and I promise you'll become a huge fan of this young man. The Colorado State transfer is sharp, competitive, and a team player. This week, he joined us on the Flames Central podcast presented by Ortho Virginia to talk about his game and his strengths on the field.
All right, for Flames fans that have not seen you play, maybe describe your game a little bit. What do you feel like are your strengths on the field?
Just a knack for the ball, honestly, man. Like I said, I've been playing since 4 years old, so just a knack for the ball. For my goals and my dreams, where I want to go, you got to be able to do it all as a receiver. You can't be one-dimensional. You can't be a guy that we can only send deep. You can't be a guy that we can only send over the middle. You know, I'm going to do whatever this offense needs for me to do. You know, I talk to my receivers all the time about being quarterback friendly. I want to be the friendliest guy to the quarterback possible. Whenever he needs me to make a play, he can come to three. So that's my thing, just being able to do a little bit of it all.
There is so much to learn about Jamari Pson, his married life, transferring to Liberty, and much more. Be sure you check out the entire conversation. It's the Flames Central podcast presented by Ortho Virginia. A new episode is released every Monday. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast, or you can watch it on the Liberty Flames YouTube channel.
Building a culture within a football program today doesn't come easy. Obviously, you're looking for the most talented players, but you also have to make sure they're the right fit. For a coach, there's certain qualities you're looking for: respectful, determined, selfless. Joe Carter is all of that and more. But the linebacker's story to get to that level of leadership took hard work and dedication from him and his family.
3rd and 12. Flames rush forward. Late blitz on the way.
Liberty linebacker Joe Carter is quickly becoming a menace on defense.
Joe Carter going down the line of scrimmage to make the stop.
I was taught to do what you're asked to do. So whatever the coaches ask me to do, I just make sure I do it to the best of my ability.
And Joe has his parents, Michael and Patricia, to thank for instilling that personality trait in him.
Yeah, he was well-mannered, you know. We didn't have no issues with him. Yeah. It was always yes, sir, yes, ma'am with him. You know, he was a great kid. He was a great kid.
But it's not just good manners that have led to Joe's success on the field.
Joseph Carter once again to the stop.
It's been through dedicated hard work that first began when he was just 6 years old.
I think he fell in love with the sport when his older brothers were playing football. When we would get to the football field, he would just run around the football field, run around and run up and down and run around it. He would run and play on the football field till he's exhausted.
In high school, Joe would excel in 2 sports, but believed only one would get him to the next level.
The plan was to go to college for free, so football is a little bit easier for my height than basketball would have been. So when I got to high school, I was like, all right, back up a little bit off basketball and focus a little bit more on football.
In January of 2021, Joe's dream of playing college football was starting to become a reality. He would commit to play at the Army Academy, but when COVID happened, those plans would fall through.
My mama just sat me down and was like, trust the Lord and trust everything that he has for you, and no matter what decision you make, like, we got you, we're gonna make sure it happen.
Joe would then reach back out to the first program that showed interest in him as a player, and the only school he had visited, Liberty, and would join the team as a walk-on.
Nice to see y'all. My parents didn't see nothing. They didn't really know none of the coaches. They didn't have no real feeling on the actual place. But because I said I do want to go there, and it is a Christian school, that was like, all right, they kind of know who I am as a person and know like I'm gonna make the best of wherever I go.
Even if he wasn't on scholarship, you know, as parents, you know, we were going to do whatever we need to do. So we wanted to make sure, you know, all of our kids succeed, no matter what it takes.
The Carter family would formulate a plan to help pay for Joe's college education, and it would begin with both Patricia and Joe taking second jobs.
We both worked 2 jobs that whole summer so that we could pay for the first semester. And then once I got here, they kept paying me through.
I had to use some of my retirement out of my 401k, you know, to get the first couple of years in.
But in August of 2023, that would all change for the Carter family because head coach Jamie Chadwell would offer Joe a full scholarship.
If I hear them tearing up, I'm trying not to tear up myself. I'm like, dang, I love y'all boys and thank y'all. I was very thankful with the staff coming in and just taking that weight off of my father and my parents.
Oh, man. I was at work and he called it and told me that. I was like, oh, man, I'm going to burst out into tears. I was so happy. That's a moment in life that you don't forget, you know what I mean? So it was wonderful.
I told him that was a God thing. That was between you and God. Because in the Word of God said, let me prove myself to you. And that's what he did for my son.
He never gave up. You know, he knew what he wanted to do. He stayed with it, stayed in his faith, and everything through God's will is working out for him. About to go? Okay, hold that right there, hold that right there.
It just made me grateful, but I was like, all right, now I gotta switch my mindset to now I gotta do more, help the team out in any way I can.
Just 1 season after receiving his scholarship, this soft-spoken, hard-working, well-mannered gentleman would tackle those new leadership roles and earn the title team captain.
He was already a nice young man, but mentally, the last couple of years, I mean, he's jumped leaps and bounds, you know. I mean, it's just so proud, you know what I mean? I'm just so proud of him.
Smith, he'll rumble down the far sideline. Joe Carter again on the stops.
It's wonderful to see, you know, where he is at this point. It's wonderful.
Joseph Carter in on the tackle.
All things are possible to him that believe, but faith without works is dead, being alone. So you have to put in the work and keep continuing to trust in God, do your part, and God is faithful.
Thanks to our John Pratt for producing that piece. We'll stay on the gridiron, but check in at the next level. Former Flames quarterback Malik Willis is entering his 4th NFL season. Shortly after being traded to Green Bay last year, Willis shined in his backup role when starter Jordan Love was out with injury. And now it looks like Malik will have the offense back in his hands with Love sidelined again. The Packers announced Love tore a ligament in his left thumb and underwent a procedure to repair it. He's expected to return in about a week, but until then, it's more opportunity for Willis. Here's a look at what Malik did in 2024, 550 yards and 3 touchdowns, along with a 74 completion percentage. Believe it or not, our very own Matt Warner is in Green Bay to share more on the former Flame and his growth under center with the Packers.
We are in Titletown, USA, Green Bay, Wisconsin for Packers training camp here in the shadow of Lambeau Field. It's the first training camp here in Green Bay for former Flames quarterback Malik Willis. You may remember he was traded from Tennessee to the Packers just less than a year ago and quickly thrown into the fire. He ended up starting a couple of games early in the year for the injured Jordan Love, led the Packers to a couple of huge wins, and it's that performance, along with the preparation he's shown off the field, that has the Packer brass thrilled with the 4th-year quarterback's trajectory.
And he came in, last year and kind of hit the ground running, did a great job. I think, where he sits now having a full offseason with Matt and his staff, he's certainly, so much further along, not only, in his play, but then in, just how he affects the room as well.
I love what Malik's been able to do in his short time here in regards to a lot of the core fundamentals that I think are critical in terms of producing good quarterback play. I think he's really honed in on the mechanics and fundamentals of that, and hopefully he can continue to progress.
If you play the position of quarterback, you have to be continuously growing towards your best self. And that means decision making, accuracy, making sure that you're making the right play and not making a devastating play. Understanding where we at on the field, understanding, what we need and what we don't need. I think it's just all encompassing mental more than anything. I think the physical aspect, not relying on that as heavy, I think that's been great for me. That's how you stay around. That's how you really challenge the defense. And you utilize that when you really need to. And I feel like that's the biggest thing.
We'll hear much more from Malik Willis in the coming weeks as we had a chance to sit down and have a lengthy conversation with the former Flames quarterback. He talked about life in the NFL and what he learned through his time at Liberty. Reporting from Green Bay, Wisconsin, and about to get a big basket full of cheese curds, I'm Matt Warner.
All I'm saying, Matt, is that you better bring us back some cheese curds. Emily's pregnant, and well, you can just tell the stories here. All right, let's switch to volleyball now. In 2024, the Lady Flames finished the regular season in 7th place. But I would expect that to change this year because new head coach Jeremy White has a track record, and it involves a lot of winning. Surprisingly enough, his story didn't even start on the court.
Liberty head volleyball coach Jeremy White loves to compete.
Wait as long as you can and go get it at the top.
But as a kid growing up in Texas, it was on the diamond where he spent most of his time.
Baseball was kind of always my big thing. When you pitch, you have the ball in your hand. It's kind of one of those situations where you're in control of everything, and I think I always really liked that about the sport. And then there was also a very strategic element. I think I was kind of fiddling with pitch counts and pitch sequencing a lot earlier than most people would think about doing it.
Arm injuries would derail White's baseball dreams early in college, and he would eventually end up at McNeese State, where a lifetime sports class would introduce him to a game he knew very little about, volleyball.
I had never even gone to a volleyball game in high school. I'd never been to anything. I'd never played it outside of maybe some backyard stuff at family reunions.
And yet, Jeremy quickly became obsessed with the sport.
Volleyball's a sport where there's so much action, you're kind of always involved in every play, so it hooked me really quickly.
He would begin playing and then coaching. And it wasn't long before he had worked his way to leading his own Division I program at Southeastern Louisiana. But after 6 seasons and multiple conference titles, he would make the move to Liberty.
Obviously, Liberty has a ton available to it from a facilities perspective and things like that kind of draw a coach in to want to be successful there. But I think the other big piece is, what Liberty's about.
Proverbs 18:15. The heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out.
think Liberty kind of gives you the opportunity to not just develop kids from a physical and mental perspective, but also spiritually. So that was a big draw as well.
Positional, so you're coming out of, if you're a bro, let's go out of left back.
And now Coach White is focused on building something special on the mountain and instilling in his players the characteristics he believes they need to be successful.
It's up!
One big factor you're going to hear a lot from us is grit. To me, grit it's not just the most important quality to being successful in sports. It's really one of the most important qualities to being successful in life.
Wait long, be an athlete.
We have a high standard. We want to see each other be successful. We praise each other when it happens, but we were going to hold each other accountable in a different way. This is a program that right now that is looking in a new conference to find a new level of successes. Obviously, there was success in the Big South, success in the ASUN, and now we got to build ourselves from the ground up in CUSA.
So even just like we talk about in passing stuff, like go when you know.
Nothing can be willed. All you can do is, do your best to develop a culture that breeds success. And so year one, it's going to be about developing that. We're going to lay the foundation for it. We'll come in, we'll set the first year standards. We'll talk about the commitments that we're going to have, the discipline that's going to be necessary to keep getting better and put ourselves in a position to be successful.
Terrific story. So fun to watch. An individual loves baseball, so into the game, and then all of a sudden transforms himself into a volleyball coach.
So random.
Quite the turn there.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's so cool though because he's a really, really good volleyball coach. So excited to see what he's going to do with this program, with the resources that he has here at Liberty. And he brings a lot of winning ways to the mountain. So excited to see. There's going to be some big things coming in the CUSA for this program, I feel, come fall.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. All right, hey, we're out of time. Make sure you check out libertyflamecentral.com for any stories that you might have missed.
And the Flame Central podcast, like I say every week, it's really, really heating up, but I mean it this time because football is back. We got the starting quarterback battle to talk about. So be sure to check out the Flame Central podcast presented by Ortho Virginia. For Rhett, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.